I just am curious how Johnny Walker is going to approach this fight as a plus 390 underdog tail. The tape is live. Both fighters 31 inches, 31 years of age, 3 inches in height for Johnny Walker. And here's fucking Joe Martinez. I did a little bit better, Ken Flo, on the tail of the tape for the co-main event, incidentally. Wow.
You're on the Basil's Hayden, bro?
I'm getting the Basil Hayden. Yeah.
Joe
I mean, I just want to say about Ankalaev, man, like I enjoy it. Flo, your comments are very well taken about the opportunities maybe missed by Ankalaev against Blachowicz, but I thoroughly enjoyed that fight, man. Like I could go back and watch that fight again. And in terms of Ankalaev, like, doing what he needs to get victories. You talk about Wikipedia with the green stripes all day, a couple of back-to-back blue stripes for Ankalaev. He belongs in this title picture. I hope there's some clarity for him out of this, Yeah. Fair. Li Jingliang was not my last post-fight interview. It's sort of an unfair question to the masses. You would have to go through such a deep dive to come across it.
But I know that.
We'll reveal that answer on the Anik and Florian podcast coming up on Monday or Thursday. Can't wait to get those UFC 297 predictions. Kenny, it's always nice when we have a title fight as close as Sean Strickland and Dracus du Plessis, because I have no idea which way you're going, and I don't want you to even necessarily comment right now, but I love when we have title fights that are that close. And Raquel Pennington and Maida Bueno Silva, not necessarily our producer's cup of tea, but I feel like that fight is close on paper as well. All right, Johnny Walker, Magomed Ankalaev, UFC Apex, getting ready to go for the main event. Hey, Ron, where are you right now? You're at home with that setup, correct?
Yeah, I'm at the condo, but I got some news for you boys about that. I had a nice meeting at the Virgin and the Mohegan today. So
really,
we might be doing something full time.
Wow.
Yeah, remember when I said that deal might just happen? Well, we're not jinxing it, but give me a couple days. I'll have some news for you.
So, Kemplo, Wu-Tang Clan is having a residency at the Virgin, but it's not really a residency. They're performing twice there in February and twice in March.
Wow. Okay.
But if there were any group that I would like to see live at this advanced stage of my life, it's them. So we'll see. Maybe we get out there in March. All right, here we go. First main event of 2024. Magomed Ankalaev, a minus 500 or so favorite at close. He's in the black trunks. Johnny Walker is in green. We are underway. 5 rounds if needed. My instincts, Ken Flo, suggest to me we're not going 25 minutes, but here we go. Ankalaev opens out of that southpaw stance. Johnny Walker going orthodox here early.
Absolutely. Both these guys look like they want the finish early. I mean, Ankalaev, very, very focused. Oh,
Ken Flo, you see that spinning back fist from Walker?
Wow.
Yeah.
Ankalaev.
Whoa.
Oh.
Yeah, Big Ron, I can understand why you're happy. Have no action here.
These guys.
One thing about these watch parties is trying to align the feeds to see if Ken Flo's feed.
Yeah, that's why I'm not saying nothing.
Right?
Yeah, I'm like 2 seconds behind, I think.
4:20 to go in round 1. Put something in the air if you're so inclined. Oh, that looked painful on both ends as the fighters collided legs. We should be drinking Johnny Walker Blue.
Yeah,
well,
right?
I talked about that. Like, if I'm Johnny Walker, I'm putting blue or black or whatever the fuck on the end of my name and trying to get a sponsorship. My nickname is Blue, but instead of saying Blue Johnny Walker, you say Johnny Walker Blue. Have Bruce Buffer blow it up, get a sponsorship. Pretty simple. Buff would probably be like, I don't know if I can say that because of Puncher's Chance. Incidentally, Ron Pellegrino sells a lot of Puncher's Chance at the Paradise Canteen.
I have a handful. I have a handful of regulars that actually drink quite a bit of it. Actually, well, they don't pay for it, but they get a comp. That's for sure.
Oh, we should have sent the link to Buff. You could be sure he might have found a way. I think they drink 94.6 proof. It's like Tanqueray.
Well, you know, I mean, you gave up soda and juice.
Esophagus, Ronnie,
I like Puncher's Chance. It's not. It's pretty solid. Yeah.
And not because they line your pockets. You just love
it. Exactly.
I actually prefer.
How many sips of that do you take when you're doing those posts?
Chance. If you want complete veracity, proper 12 greater than Puncher's Chance. Don't at me. And I just lost my best friend, Bruce Buffer. Man, Johnny Walker going to the spinning attacks early under 3 minutes here to go round 1 of a possible 5. Ankalaev jab to the body.
Oh.
A lot of action in 2 minutes, huh, boys?
Yep.
Oh.
I don't know, Ron. I'm a little bit drunk.
You know what? Just roll, buddy. If you got to take a nap, Jay will just slide right over.
A lot of people tell me that these days. Hey, if anything happens to you, there's a much more handsome, nicer version with a ponytail.
But like right now,
step
like
right in.
now.
You know?
Right now, you can shut. I mean, right now, it's not like you need. You don't need to call the fucking fight.
I mean,
you know,
is that like the fifth spinning attack he's just done?
What's that, Ron?
Kenny, you hear what he said? He said, "Let Kenny tell me what's going on." You know, sorry, Ron. Go ahead.
No. I'm just saying, it's like the fifth spinning back fist, the spin kick. He's just going nuts.
I know. He keeps looking for that thing.
He is landing quite a bit of them.
So we went bowling last night, and I had the high score 142. I don't think that's really good, but
were you playing against your kids or?
No, I was just gonna say though, I get a little bit more competitive with my little brother than my twin brother in a bowling setting. You know, Jay and I mean, certainly you see the friction today, but I root for the guy with every ounce of me. You know, Johnny Walker working off the jab. About 90 seconds here to go in round one. I get nervous when Cody texts me. That's not even real bowling. It wasn't Candlepin, bro.
Close round, no.
Hard to find Candlepin outside of New England, I think.
It is.
Very close.
Ken Flo's talking about those fairway lanes on Route 9 native.
Yes.
That one stung.
Correct.
Yeah, that was a good low kick right there.
But I do love how all these people think my twin bro could step in without 20 years of repetition.
Nobody
and just
thinks
fucking
that.
crush it on a UFC.
Nobody
title.
thinks that. Nobody thinks
Unbelievable.
that.
Under
Nobody
a minute
thinks
to
that.
go on the round.
Nobody thinks that. You need some ice? You want me to go get some ice?
Do you mind going to get some ice at the end of the
Want me to
round?
go walk a
Get him
fucking
a
mile to get your pizza in Boston? Like from some fucking
2
apartment?
cubes.
Get
Just
the
2.
fuck- No, I will. You want ice? I'll fucking get you some ice.
Well, beer before liquor, never sicker.
this guy's a fucking clown.
So no, just maybe get me a Heineken instead. I think I need to slow down on the whiskey. You know.
Get him a Heine, dude. Oh man.
All right,
I've
so an
spent
official timeout
3 weeks with you at a penthouse. You've drank more on this live feed than you have.
Right. No, you're right. So Kenny, Magomed Ankalaev just committed a foul. He kicked Johnny Walker straight in the twig and berries. Inadvertent, incidental, insert your adjective, but Kenny, he kicked him flush.
It's
And the
Why did I say I don't see anything controversial happening tonight? Why did I say it? I said it. I just jinxed it. I think he'll be fine, but man, it was an accurate shot to the testes. No question about that. Those will hurt. Like, here's the thing: a plastic cup does not hurt, guys. You know, I know Rogan talks about this all the time with the steel cups, but a plastic cup, anything that's plastic is not going to stop a professional fighter from kicking right through it or kneeing right through it.
Yeah,
those still hurt. They do hurt.
So Joss Condren chimes in, watching live on the Anik and Florian podcast channel in Ireland, and everything is synced perfectly, which is absolutely music to our ears. Again, apologies for the little slur there. We'll try to keep it together over the course of this main event. I think my inner monologue is hoping this thing doesn't go the full 25, but you just never know. All right, after a 90-second official timeout, 30 seconds to go in round one. Ankalaev right back to work and right back to that midsection. You know,
I was just going to say that. Yeah,
right, Ron?
Right
like
back
when
in
you commit a foul, you can't deviate from the game plan if that's to attack the body, to attack the legs, and right, Kenny? Like, you commit a foul. I don't know if you have any experience like committing a foul like that, but you can't deviate just because you commit a foul.
That is true. That is true. It shows that Ankalaev is confident and believes in the strategy. And of course, in that first fight, he landed that body shot, right? He was able to kind of drop or at least hurt him very badly. Look at this. He goes into his little capoeira Jenga. Banana way. Banana way. Nice.
Oh my
Oh man. All right. So Jeremy DeYoung wants to know, where is Ray Longo and Lucy? So I don't punish my kids a lot, but Ray Longo's in fucking timeout right now until we get his setup better. I just wasn't going to take the risk on the inaugural Anik and Florian podcast watch party. So, we called on the reserves, one of my best friends in the world, fucking Big Ron Pellegrino, and took the short notice call, you motherfucker.
Just another Dago from New York. A little younger, but, same.
Hey, John, I think that email to Ray about putting Lucky down was a little much.
Cut!
I think that was a little much.
Can I say it? Can I say it? Can I say it?
Yeah, say it.
Ron, tell everybody.
links and
Ron,
everything.
go ahead, Ron. Go ahead, Ron. Tell everybody how you feel.
No, I get fucking canceled.
Yeah,
First
no.
one.
All right, let me get a
Listen,
little
this is all I'm
serious
gonna
on
say. One thing.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
just say it.
Dog owners are fucking monsters. I'm telling you, you're all monsters.
All right, round
You
two.
wouldn't let your kids get away with a tenth of the shit you let your dogs get away with.
All right, here we go. Round two. Johnny Walker opens with a leg kick. Ankalaev goes with a right hand. And we want all your feedback on these watch parties. Certainly Ray Longo is going to be a part of them in the future. But what do you like? What don't you like? Do you like this as a sort of pay-per-view partner, fight companion? To quote my guy, Joe Rogan, we're here for our audience. And rest assured, this will never be behind a paywall. 30 seconds gone by round one. Walker kicks the leg. Ankalaev responds in kind.
You know, and if you're looking for comments, like when we go to like family events, like nobody really is feeling it when John and I, it's not that dynamic, man. Like sometimes John and I a little too much for some people.
Yeah.
So that's why maybe the next one, you know, this will be an empty chair, right? And then we can put that big camera right in your fat mug.
Oh man, Ankalaev just continues to try to drill the stomach of Walker. He's trying to drop him with the same body shot he landed in the first fight, I think.
You know, I do think Magomed Ankalaev at times has been a victim of expectation, right? He hasn't lost since, being submitted by Paul Craig in his UFC debut, March of 2018. But, you know, to have that to have the draw against Jan Blachowicz and then to see the promotion pivot so swiftly to Jamal Hill and Glover Teixeira, right? Like that's an emotional thing for a fighter, right?
Yeah.
And then he gets back on the horse and commits a foul right out of the chute against Johnny Walker. So Magomed Ankalaev is very mentally tough and forward. So I didn't worry about him in this spot, Kenny, but the dude's dealt with a lot. Like to be as good as he is and go like 2 years without having your hand raised is not at all ideal.
Yeah, 100%, man. I mean, those are the mind games that you kind of have to deal with when you hit a streak of bad luck, which can happen to any fighter at any point. And, you know, I think about all the times that I may have gotten lucky, right, with a certain win, which led to another fight that I was able to get or whatever, or, you know, something could go right and wrong in your career. One fight could change the trajectory completely. You know, one injury, you know, this sport is so nuts. And for Ankalaev, it seems like he's remained focused. He's been keeping his composure. He's sticking to the game plan, and he's fighting a good fight. So all good signs. But yeah, John, I mean, those are the things that fighters need to deal with. It's those battles outside of the cage, which I think can be the toughest for guys to deal with.
I know I've had a few cocktails, but like, don't you think Dana?
Oh! Magomed Ankalaev statement fucking made, and the uppercut to close it out with Johnny Walker on the canvas. Title job might just be next, Ken Flo. Magomed Ankalaev ending the fucking watch party just like that.
That's how you do it, man. I mean, we talked about the statement that he needed to make, just a nasty series of shots, one after the other. And that's a statement, man. Devastating shot.
So a huge result for Magomed Ankalaev inside the UFC Apex. And if you had Ankalaev by knockout, you had him inside the distance, you cashed those tickets. Ken Flo gets a $1,000 budget now on the Anik and Florian podcast, and you spent $700 on Magomed Ankalaev. Kenny, here's the replay. A big right hand was the beginning of the end for Johnny Walker Blue.
Yeah, he went to block that kick, got into boxing range, threw the overhand right, kind of landed on either the lower part of the ear, the upper part of the jaw. That follow-up shot, that right hand, the follow-up shot up against the cage, just nasty. Had him trapped, all of his weapons facing him, and then follows up with that hook or uppercut style punch. Oh, excellent stoppage there. I mean, my goodness.
Like T. Wood and Robbie Lawler back in the day. Remember Tyron Woodley starched him and caught him on the cage?
Oh,
dude, good for Magomed Ankalaev, man. Like, he deserves that. He belongs right there in that picture, man. That's a fun division.
That's your dog, Jay. You love him. That's your dog.
Rogan's favorite fighter, like damn near close. Rogan been talking about this guy forever. Rogan turned me on to this guy. So, Kenny, we have a lot of fighters, Russians and Brazilians, who have varying degrees of an appetite to learn the English language. And it's very difficult. Yep. English, a language to learn as your second language. Kenny is a linguist and can speak to this as well as anyone if you know anything about Kenny and his former career, right? But we've seen like Umar Nurmagomedov learn the English language, and we've seen a lot of Brazilians, Junior Dos Santos, perhaps chief among them, Amanda Ribas, really able to elevate their careers by speaking English. We've also seen a lot of other fighters like Charles Oliveira, Jose Aldo, Magomed Ankalaev, not necessarily taking that embrace. And I bring it up in this context because in my last fighter meeting with Magomed Ankalaev, he said, and I quote, "A little flair and showmanship is important at this level." And obviously, this finish is the best way for him to provide showmanship and flair. But he's also talked about on a microphone providing some of that. Hard to do that in a second language, you know? I feel like if this dude could learn English, the sky's the limit. But there's a limit as to how much he can resonate with the American and the English-speaking fan base if everything has to go through an intermediary.
Yeah, and no question about it, man. It definitely is limiting if you're looking for those opportunities to market yourself and say the right things. It sounds way different coming from a translator. First of all, if they are in fact translating 100% correctly, but also, you know, the fans want to hear from you. They want to know what you have to say, and to hear it in their own language is huge. Obviously, that's a huge promotional element for them, for the UFC, and to not have that in your back pocket can really hurt you. I think about Anderson Silva, how long it took him to speak English. Imagine if he was speaking English early on in his career. I mean, he'd be an even bigger superstar than he is today, I think.
Interesting.
That's a great example.
Yeah.
So it appears as though Magomed Ankalaev's unbeaten streak is now 12 fights. Big Ron, I want to turn this to you and not to necessarily put you on the spot, but we've heard a lot of fights announced for UFC 300. A lot of fans are expectant that we're going to get a championship triple header just by nature of the fact that it is UFC 300. We don't know who Alex Pereira is going to fight next. I would imagine this result lays the foundation for Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev. You're an insider. Is it your expectation that that's the fight that they would look to make?
I mean, it seemed like they had to wait for this fight to happen, right? Yeah. I mean, it lines up. The only other championship fight that could be on that card that hasn't announced that I assume would be is your boy Bilal and Leon, right? I mean, is it Wei Li and Zhao Nin, right?
Yeah. Zhang Wei Li, Yan Xiaonan, China.
Yeah. And that's the only title fight that's on the card, right?
At least right now, as far as I know.
Yeah. So,
again,
I mean, yeah, I mean, this would be a perfect fight to put on that card. Not that like everybody's like super upset about that card already. Between the they're very bitching about Toronto.
And for these replays, fucking
well, dude, and for Dana White, like if he was even considering Ankalaev at 300, Magomed had to do this tonight.
Well, right.
And what I was about to say right before the knockout was like it was almost feeling like Dana was probably getting fucking itchy in his seat.
Yeah.
And then
Eduardo Padron says Khabib versus Islam at UFC 300. So, but yes, Jay, you're absolutely right. Like statement fucking made for Magomed Ankalaev. And if you were trying to make yourself undeniable as a number one contender, this is what you're looking for. So we'll see. I mean, Alex Pereira is the best in the world, but he's also a prize fighter. If you followed Alex Pereira's career, he's making a lot of money and he's doing it in short order, Kenny. So for Alex Pereira as a defending champion, right, to defend the belt at UFC 300 and get pay-per-view points, like I do believe we're going to see Pereira at UFC 300.
That would be sick. He's an animal, man. He's an animal. He wants to stay busy. He realizes the time is now for him to be able to collect as much money as possible. And I think he's looking for that one. And it was interesting, though. I'm not sure we really talked about Adesanya training again. Which again just could be timing, coincidence, whatever. But again, I don't think he'll go up to 205. But yeah,
didn't he just say he got hurt or something? I think he just said he got hurt like a day ago or something.
Who did? Pereira?
Adesanya.
Oh, Adesanya. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Hey, why don't we just stop being fucking serious again? I got some fucking alcohol flowing. Like I'm ready to talk some shit.
Yeah, let's talk some shit. We're going to get out of here in about 5 to 10 minutes, but congratulations to Magomed Ankalaev. We do have a comment here at Love for the 90s. Run up and get done up. That actually, Ken Flo and Ron and Jay, that might not be a bad way to cap a fight. Run up and get done up. You got to run up first in order to get done up.
Was it from Hell Pichel had something to do with that? Or when you first heard that line, was that Vince Pichel, or am I imagining?
What the fuck are you talking about?
But hey,
like you live 2.6 miles from here.
Hey, you can go home. Hey, Flo, someone paid $4.99. They wanted to know your favorite battle bot. Can we get like a one-word answer? Can we get like a one-word answer and move on? Perhaps.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely.
Favorite battle bot is
probably I don't know, Endgame maybe.
Mine too. Endgame.
Endgame or Endgame or Hydra. There you go.
What's the handicap on that? What's the line?
Our executive producer, if I could, Cody Merrow, for putting all this together for us to be able to go live and just making an eternal commitment to this show. I really appreciate it. How about Kevin Boss saying Ankalaev was like, yo, fucking later, you're goddamn right. And how about the featherweight Billy Quarantello, Billy Q chiming in on the live stream. You know what, Billy Q? You're going to be a part of the next watch party. We apologize for not sending you the link tonight. That was a tremendous oversight on the part of Boston Anik.
No, hold up. We didn't want. We was concerns about technical difficulties. Okay, link would have gone out to plenty of people, especially my boy Bully B. Okay, but Billy Q's my guy.
Yo, hold up.
Yo, hold up. Is that what I said? Yeah.
You guys are feeling good, man. I miss you, boys.
All right, so. We'll see. It's very interesting, right? And I will peel back the curtain a little bit. So I'm not watching the UFC broadcast anymore, but oftentimes we will have B-roll packages. And Kenny, you know the term B-roll. It's essentially just footage, but we'll have packages built so that when Magomed Ankalaev wins a fight like tonight, you know, maybe they run some Alex Pereira B-roll because that's the fight that makes the most sense. And we're going to do a lot of this rehash on the Anik and Florian podcast coming up on Monday on the DraftKings YouTube channel. But Kenny, for Ankalaev to produce this result on the heels of a draw and a no contest, there's no one else for Magomed Ankalaev really to fight at 205 pounds. Like, he has unequivocally earned this championship opportunity. They gave him the shot when the belt was vacant, and it was a draw in a fight in which he won round 5, 10-8 on 2 of the 3 judges' scorecards. Like, I just think Magomed Ankalaev's next fight has to be in a championship setting, and that is not the alcohol talking.
Yeah, 100%, man. I mean, that's how you beef up your little highlight before your next championship
right.
fight. They want to see finishes. They need a reason to watch you. And Ankalaev getting yet another finish against a guy like Johnny Walker, who's a massive dude, who I think a lot of people kind of know his name as far as guys in the 205-pound division. And this was a huge result for him.
I mean, besides, who else is there really for him to fight besides for the belt? I mean, after that.
Right.
Who does he even fight after that, right? What is he? He was ranked 3rd before this, right?
Right.
I mean, like,
and I think he can pose some problems for Pereira as well. You know, that's not an easy.
He's a tough guy.
Yeah.
Well, in terms of the betting line, I feel like I'm not going to suggest that Magomed Ankalaev is going to be the betting favorite. I think Alex Pereira would open as the betting favorite. But in terms of the closeness of the betting line, this is the fight that it would be the tightest for sure. I wouldn't be surprised if Ankalaev takes a lot of plus money, honestly, you know.
Real close line. I could even see it being the other way. I mean, he's got that wrestling style that, I mean, totally, like, obviously he wants a crack now. That's dope. But I mean, if all else fails, I mean, Yuri wanted a crack with Poatan. That didn't really work out too well. So, I mean, if he goes to the ground, though, he's live real quick.
Kenny, I'm going to probably ask you this, of course, on Monday, but a lot of fans want to know, and a lot of fans are suggesting that Ankalaev is the worst divisional matchup for Poatan. Can you give us an early forecast on how you handicap that matchup?
Gosh,
it's hard, right?
That is hard,
though.
I wouldn't. Listen, I wouldn't be surprised to see Pereira as a slight favorite. You know, I think maybe. You know, I think where he gets in trouble is if it goes to the ground, right? That's where Ankalaev can. But I don't know. Pereira has shown good defense. It's not like Ankalaev is like this submission machine, but if he wanted to win a decision, it's there, right? You have your use your striking just enough. You put Pereira on his back, you get position, you know, land some shots, chip away at the very least. That's the clearest path to victory, from what I see from the outside in. But I don't know. I mean, Pereira, we know he can put anybody's lights out. So I don't know. Be interesting.
Well, and I'm obviously a novice, but the way Ankalaev stalks his prey is like, better protect yourself at all times. Stalking Poatan the way you come forward all night long. You better be careful there. I mean, I know my eyes are amateur, but
no, he's got KO power as well, man. Got some good.
Allow me to say, remember Blahovic chopped his legs out in that fight that everyone got pissed that ended in a
Yeah.
draw, the championship fight.
Yeah.
So I mean, if Blachowicz did it to him, I don't know how he does that without telegraph. I mean, he throws it so hard, but he doesn't even like turn his hip or nothing. He
Dude,
just whips it out and you're done.
Even his left hook, the last one where he knocked out Prohaska, it looks like he threw it from like 3 inches away. He just kind of like turned his body, and you see Prohaska just crumble. You're like, what is this guy made out of?
Want to get to a couple of these comments before we get on out of here. Spaffron saying Longo for mayor. I mean, he can have your vote as far as I'm concerned. He needs to go get a fucking haircut. At Lazy Bed, serious love to you all for doing this. This was nostalgic and fun as fuck. There's fuck is fun, incidentally. There's nobody else I'd rather hear chopping it up over fights than Jon fucking Anik and Kenny Florian. We're happy to be here for you, and hopefully this is the first of many watch parties to come. I got to be careful not to call it a fight companion with respect to my man, the GOAT, Joe Rogan. Ron Pellegrino, before we let you get on out of here, it is 6:45 p.m. Pacific.
Oh, my
I'd imagine you're about to just go like pillage these slot machines, but I know you run a very successful 24/7, 365 business. So if I could ask, and by the way, congratulations. There was a lot of pressure on you tonight being in charge with the Anik and Florian podcast parlay, right? Like, I gotta say, man, like you needed to get this one tonight and you got it. So you're 1-0. Congratulations. But I do want to ask, in all seriousness, it is 6:45 p.m. your time. What does the rest of your night hold? Make us super envious right now before we let you go.
To be honest with you, it's kind of boring. I actually have a meeting. I got to go to a strip club that a buddy of mine wants to purchase, and he wants my expertise from my former lifestyle back in the day. But I was playing poker and all day long. I had actually I'll be posting something later tonight. So I had something a little nice today. Yesterday was a real good day.
So Ron, you're saying is you got to do a little research at the strip joint, and that's boring for you.
And flow. I just got to walk the property.
Okay, all right. Just making sure.
No, it's actually a real mellow. It's freezing in Vegas, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
It's been cold for like, cold.
Check out the Big Ron Bets YouTube channel if you want to see all that Ron is into. And if you want to live vicariously through this guy that I think we all sort of aspired to be, and then we started procreating and everything fucking went sideways. But at Big Ron Bets, congrats, buddy. Thanks for all your contributions to the show. Thanks for your humility. And you're kind of a gentle giant, but
yes.
You know, keep attacking that board, buddy. Thanks for chiming in. And I find it hard.
Never getting double unders, John. No matter how gentle I am, you're never getting double unders, dog. Don't sweat it. Listen, boys, an absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me on. And no pressure. I got more winners coming this year. Don't sweat it.
Attaboy.
You're the man, Ron.
Hey,
all right, boys. Thank you so much.
Hey, great day, better evening. We'll talk to you soon. Big
Undefeated.
Ron Pellegrino joining us
there's
here.
the lights on the way out. That's what I'm talking about. Everyone fucking
What was
hating.
it? Is it autocorrecting?
Oh, it's great right now.
Oh, that's what.
Well, wait a minute.
Probably
That's what it's doing. That's okay.
Was it autocorrecting?
Either way, you got game.
First time.
You got game either way.
Yeah,
first time. We'll perfect it. I promise.
Dude, I think we're pushing people to the Paradise Cantina. Anan Abu Baker is coming in there. So, yep. Jeremy Dion.
Happy hours. It's 2 for 1 happy hour at 8 o'clock.
All right. Hey, Big Ron. Thank you, buddy. We'll talk to you soon. All right.
Boys are the best. Thank you, Kevlo.
See you, dude.
Daddy's also going to hit up the Paradise Cantina. Go see Big Ron and tell him the Anik and Florian podcast sent you, and you will get how much off their check, Ron? Oh, he's gone. But you get off your check. You know, Bisping gets in trouble when he reads, hey, if they drop an Anik and Florian podcast, hey, if they come in and drop an Anik and Florian podcast, the Anik and Florian podcast sent me, what happens to their check?
Doubles immediately. Everyone else is 2 for 1. Theirs is 1 for 2.
There you go.
All right. Well, see what happens. You know, drop the name and see what happens. Hey,
drop the name. See what happens.
Don't get it
Bro, we're like a nonprofit organization there anyway. We're there for everyone's entertainment purposes solely.
Right.
Don't sweat it.
My favorite thing is when your mom goes in and whacks your slot for 10 G's. And sorry, son.
20.
Wow.
Yeah, 3 weeks after I open, Ken Flo. Thanks, Ma. Top of the world.
I got him.
If you were Longo, If you were Longo right now, I would tell you to get the fuck out of here, but I think I owe you a little bit more respect. So have a good evening, buddy. We'll see you, right?
Later, boys.
Yeah, Ronnie.
Bro, for all you old men out there, when we did this one extra rounds with TJ DeSantis and Don Fry, TJ DeSantis tried to get Don Fry off the set after his segment. Don Fry kicked me out. Don Fry went
Don Fry out.
Bilal and I were, trying to learn about this cat, Don Fry.
Dude, he's a legend, dude.
So one of my favorite colleagues, Michael Bisping, Kemflo was invited to his wedding, incidentally, but he gets himself in trouble on YouTube, Kenny. He reads these comments from guys like Jeremy DeYoung who say, Anik, I wanted to get your opinion on something. Who would look better oiled up, Rogan or Dana? He doesn't screen the questions, and then he reads them on the air. So I have not given that a lot of forethought as to whether or not Joe Rogan would look better than Dana White were he to be oiled up. So I don't have an answer on that front. But all right, we're gonna get on out of here. Any final thoughts from you?
My final thought: Bully B got fucking next, and UFC 300. Like, just shout out my boy Bilal Muhammad. Like, all this chatter about UFC 300, and I know that date hasn't been penciled in, but Leon's healthy. Bully don't want to wait, and like, just make it happen, right? Okay, let's keep it moving forward. But just shout out my boy.
Well, real quick, and then I'm going to get to Kenny's final thought. And if you don't know, Jason Anik and Bilal Muhammad have hosted a podcast, Remember the Show, on this here Anik and Florian podcast YouTube channel for the better part of what, 2-3 years now?
123 episodes.
123 episodes. So those guys are the dearest of friends. But this is not anything resembling a Bilal Muhammad agenda. When I text him, I'm like, dude, like, this is not because I like you as a human being. It's because I'm promoting a meritocracy. I did the same fucking thing for Brandon Royval, right? So Full Send MMA, courtesy of Helen Yee Sports, said Coach Javier Mendez confirms Khabib is not coming back for UFC 300. He says the training that he and Khabib were doing was strictly cardio, and has not been any talks of Khabib returning, nor will there be. Javier Mendez also urges people to stop the clickbait at @FullSend_MMA. And I wrote back, with respect to my dear friend Javier Mendez, longtime head coach of my broadcast partner Daniel Cormier, did Hob not start this noise with his suggestive comments? Anyone who knows Khabib, A, knew not to click, and B, knows he would never do that to an overwhelmingly deserving Bilal Muhammad. And the point is that Bilal is so deserving and so undeniable as the number one contender that Khabib was in his corner. He was not going to stand in his way and step in and fight Leon Edwards. So, Jay, we hope your guy gets the title fight. Kemflo, we got to get on out of here. And before I let you go, Kemflo, any final thoughts before we recap this fucking pig on Monday on our real show?
No, man. That was a hell of a lot of fun. I'm glad you guys were able to do this. Always great to see you guys. And I guess we'll talk on Monday.
All right, great stuff. Thank you all for checking out the inaugural watch party here on the Anik and Florian Podcast YouTube channel. If you have suggestions, at Anik Florian Pod, at Cody_Merrow, let us know what you liked, what you did not like. The plans are to do one of these for every fight night during the rest of 2024. Thanks to our executive producer, Cody Merrow. Thank you to Ron Pellegrino, Jason Anik. For Ken Flo, I'm Jon Anik. We will see you Monday live on the DraftKings YouTube channel as we recap this pig and get you ready for UFC 297. Until then, yo fucking late.